So everything here is your problem, if they're alone at home, if they're safe, if they have dogs and stuff. So loads of things, especially mental health patients and confused patients, which we normally don't get in a regular hospital in the Philippines. Hey guys, it's Danica and welcome back to my channel. To those who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Danica. I'm a registered nurse in the Philippines and also here in the UK. If you're new here in this channel, then I'd encourage you to click on the subscribe button below and also the bell button beside it so that you will be notified every time that we have an update. So guys, for today's video, so if you've been here for quite some time on this channel, I've been talking about things like, you know, the things that you need to know about being a nurse here, basically like the salary, what we do at work and stuff, and about living here in the UK. But probably I haven't really talked much about, you know, my personal experience during my first few months here, how I adjusted as a UK nurse. So that's basically what we're going to be talking about. I know I'm not new here anymore. It's been more than 2 years that I'm here and I'm actually changing department now. But anyway, as I try to look back, it has really changed a lot since day one, you know, to where I am right now. So basically that's what I'm going to tell you. Especially I know the loads of nurses all over the world who wants to come here as a UK. I think it has become more popular, you know, destination for nurses, and especially because there's, you know, massive shortage of nurses here in the UK at the moment. So yeah, if you guys are interested in this video, then please keep on watching. So guys, how do we begin? Actually, it's really difficult to begin this one because it's very broad, isn't it? But I'll probably be speaking more about, you know, adjusting here as a UK nurse, not much of, you know, my personal life and stuff. But anyway, I arrived here in the UK August 2019. So yeah, it's been, I don't know how many months now, 24, 25, 26, 26, 27 months now that I'm here. And you know, it's my first time really like going abroad and working as an overseas nurse, and my first time you know, away from my family, because ever since in the Philippines I've always lived with my family. Even though I started working and stuff, I've always lived in our home. So this is the longest time I haven't seen them as well. So yeah, basically lots of things going on when you move, you know, to another country, adjusting with, you know, life, adjusting with in your workplace and stuff, especially here in the UK, because, you know, this is where you're gonna have your practical examination, which is what we call 𝘺𝘰. And if you haven't passed that one, there's basically a chance you're gonna be sent back to the Philippines because you need to pass that one. But I guess I don't know, I haven't heard a nurse who was sent back home because he or she hasn't passed the 𝘺𝘰. So I feel like we all can do that. So my background in the Philippines is actually a ward-based nurse in a primary hospital, so it's not really like a great experience when I came here. But you know, still, I don't know if I really got lucky that, you know, I was assigned in emergency department, the craziest and busiest part of the hospital basically. Here on our trust, it's 2 years ago. There's not much Filipino nurses yet, so probably one of the earliest now, because there's been loads of recruitments that has happened for the past 2 years. So yeah, in ED, I feel like it's not really well established at that point, because was I alone that time? Yeah, I didn't have anyone with me who's, you know, someone who's starting the same time as me. And like by that time there's only 3 Filipino nurses who's, you know, from the same agency that I am with in the Philippines. So, you know, I feel like they don't have this, you know, established program for new overseas nurses, you know. I mean, they have this induction programs and stuff, but that's basically for all nurses, not a specific ones for, you know, overseas nurses. So yeah, I mean, nursing is nursing wherever you go. So basically different countries have different standards, you know, they have different protocols and stuff, which I needed to adjust to, because there's so much things here that we normally don't do in the Philippines, you know. Because here you're gonna think about, you know, if the patient is safe to go home, but in the Philippines you don't really care after you've treated the disease, like, you know, they need to be sent home. So everything here is your problem if they're alone at home, if they're safe, if they have dogs and stuff. So loads of things, especially mental health patients and confused patients, which we normally don't get in a regular hospital in the Philippines. So loads of adjustment, plus on the back of your mind during your first few months here would be like, will I be able to pass the 𝘧𝘰, you know, and then adjusting to like the things like how do you do this, how do you get your SIM and stuff, how do you loads of things that are, you know, new to you. So adjusting with life and especially adjusting with work. So loads of things going on. Again, as I've told you, if you've been watching me, I pretty adjusted well during my first few months, which I think is the most difficult part, but you know, now, you know, very well adjusted. Probably I'd say give it 6 months, I think, and then hopefully you will also be, you know, adjusted with life here. But I'm guessing if you've been to, you know, a different country before, it's probably gonna be easier for you anyway. Getting accepted here as a UK nurse, so you know, technically after passing the 𝘧𝘰, you're already a registered nurse, but I feel here you actually need to prove yourself as well, because especially in ED, because like so much decisions and stuff varies from each person to another, you know. I always feel like it's, you know, in ED you need to fight for your decisions and stuff. You need to be competent and you need to think really wisely with whatever you do, patient safety especially. I think I've pretty much mentioned this in my, I think, vlogs before, that, you know, when I was still new here I was quite shy, because, you know, it actually shocked me as well that, you know, oh my gosh, we really need to speak English now. So if you've watched me from, you know, from the very beginning of, you know, my journey here, I'm not really like this, you know, I'd say good in speaking English like this, but you just get used to it now anyway. Culture shock, probably a little bit, but not much, because, you know, with the English they use as well and the terms they use, a little bit different, you know, from the American English that we have in the Philippines. So yeah. And also, since, you know, I'm not really an independent type of person and I'm quite shy as well in the beginning, I pretty much felt out of place basically. Like first, I don't know, 3-4 months, you know, I will, because, you know, you can't please everybody. Not everybody is friendly to you, especially in ED as well. That's, you know, different people every time. You'll meet like agencies, you'll meet bank staff, so there's not much really consistent staff. If I'd have to, you need to be working with different people. So yeah. And then during my first few months, I've been spending lots of time in the toilet. Maybe if I'll go to the toilet, maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Because here, if you don't have the initiative, they wouldn't really, you know, teach you everything. But I don't know, because I felt like, you know, if you're from the same country, like I pretty much learned most of the things basically in my first few months with other Filipinos as well. I don't want to say something about it, but that's just how it is, I think. But yeah, yeah, tend to be like really shy in the beginning, and like I don't really have a great background, so I was also cautious about, you know, practicing nursing here, because like here it's pretty common to like do a day text, you know, report someone for the things that they probably didn't like about you, and complaints from patients as well are taken very seriously. So like, you know, pretty much scared of like, you know, not being able to do what is expected to you. Also, I think one of the biggest misconception when you come here, even though you've been probably a nurse for quite some time, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but probably a bit of both, that they will treat you really like a new nurse, because, you know, you're just new here in the UK. So yeah, you know, as I've said, it could be a bad thing or a good thing, depends on how you take it. But eventually, as you go along, like, you know, few months probably, and they see that you're competent and like you're doing well, that's probably, you can feel more confident as you working as a nurse. I don't know if you get what I mean, but you know, you kind of need to prove yourself here as well. So yeah, especially in ED, I find it really difficult, because, you know, I can feel like, you know, I'm competent enough now. I'm not really boasting or something else. When they know that you're competent enough, they will assign you to a more, how to explain it? It's not like, I wouldn't say like it's more difficult area, but that's how it tends to be, you know. Like for example, rhesus, wherein pretty much all the poorly patients or like cardiac arrest patients will go, or AGP, you know. Only few of the staff knows to use like CPAP, BiPAP and stuff. And also with triage, you know, you can't really assign like a new nurse there, because like you're gonna be on your own and you're basically gonna decide, you know, if you can send the patient home, if they needed to stay, if you need to escalate and stuff. So yeah, pretty much I felt that progress, and I'm really, you know, proud of myself as well for that achievement, that, you know, I know that I've proved myself during my stay there, and I know that I'm competent. But, you know, to begin with, I'm not really, you know, I'm really just, you know, shy nurse, but I guess it's a great thing. I'm really grateful for being in ED anyway. I feel like when you've been assigning ED, you can pretty much do everything from there, you know. You can go IT, you can go ward. I feel like, yeah, it is basically a really, really good experience to be working with my team. Aww. So yeah, I guess that's it, you know. Just a little bit of sharing that, you know, it hasn't been really easy. Yeah, basically I also adjusted. I also had my moments where I feel like kind of depressed and stuff, but you know, you'll be okay. I promise you that. So yeah, if you guys are having difficulty, you know, adjusting, you know, with life here and, you know, being a UK nurse, it's pretty normal, and just stay strong, because it will get better eventually. Yes, that's it for my short sharing. I hope you learned something. Probably I kind of inspired you a little bit, that, you know, it hasn't been like an easy journey to begin with, from the Philippines when I was still there to where I am right now. Took me a lot of, you know, hard work, lots of prayers. So yeah. Fighting. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. I hope you do, you know, enjoy, learn, get inspired. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye.